Imagine being just a kid standing on the most luxurious ship ever built, and just hours later you're alone freezing, surrounded by screams in the dark ocean. But somehow you survive. This is the story of a boy who lived through the RMS Titanic sinking, and trust me, it's more unbelievable than you think. Welcome to Rebornia History, where the past hits different. Let's go back to April 1912. The massive ship RMS Titanic was called Unsinkable. People trusted it. Families boarded it. Dreams sailed on it, among them a young boy named Mitchell Navratil. He wasn't just any passenger. He was traveling under a fake name. Yeah, this already sounds like a movie, right? Mitchell and his younger brother were taken by their father, who was secretly fleeing with them to start a new life in America. No one on board knew the truth. To the world, they were just two quiet kids on a giant ship. Then came the night, April 14th. Cold, silent, dark, and then the Titanic hit an iceberg. At first it didn't seem serious. People laughed it off. But slowly water began to creep in. Panic started spreading. Lifeboats were being lowered, but there weren't enough. Imagine being there. Would you even realize what's happening? Mitchell's father knew the truth. This ship was going down. So he made a heartbreaking decision. He placed his two sons into a lifeboat, wrapped them in warm clothes, kissed them goodbye, and stepped back. That was the last time they ever saw him. No explanation, no final speech, just goodbye. Think about that for a second. Would you have the strength to do the same? The boys drifted away into the freezing Atlantic Ocean. Surrounded by chaos, screams echoing in the distance, the massive ship slowly disappearing into darkness. And then silence. Mitchell, just a child, was now alone in a lifeboat with no idea what would happen next. Hours later, a rescue ship arrived. The survivors were saved, but here's the twist. No one knew who these boys were. They didn't speak English well. They couldn't explain their story. They became known as the Titanic orphans. Their photos were printed in newspapers across the world, until finally their mother saw them. She recognized her sons and traveled across the ocean to reunite with them. A moment of grief turned into a moment of hope. Years later, Mitchell would grow up and tell his story. A story of survival, loss, and strength. He didn't just survive a disaster, he survived being alone in one of the darkest nights in history. This story teaches us something powerful. Even in the worst moments, hope can still find you, and sometimes the smallest survivors carry the biggest stories. If this story gave you chills, don't forget to subscribe to Rebornia History, because history isn't just about the past, it's about the stories that stay with us forever.